close it out against Faze.
And Faze do have such a peculiar playstyle. Sorry, I got distracted. What's Cameraman's charm? I know, I'm talking about the drip again.
Oh God, you're talking about.
Can we have a look at Cameraman's charm for a second? Stop aiming, mate. Stop aiming. Was it the flip side charm? Am I going crazy? Stop.
Such a loser.
No, is that a Brazilian flag? I can't tell. I think it's a Brazilian flag. There you go. That's even cooler. I'll give him that.
Faze are looking for this top floor take now. You're such a loser.
Just keep talking, Mandy.
Bullet now on this white hallway window, just trying to cut off anyone that may be in that Timbers area. Meanwhile, Mowgli, the Wamai sitting inside of pixel position, is playing pretty conservative so far, I say, as he moves around through the couch. Faze just in a problem-solving phase at the moment, trying to figure out, are they going to go for a regular pixel take, or are they going to go from East? And already they're crawling their way into default plants.
Who's that? Astro! First man in the building, and he leads the charge. Souls has found a pick. It's back and forth as Cyber has now taken control of Cocktail. I don't think Wolves are very aware of it. Bibu at the top of White Stairs will try and save the round. He's found one pick, but with that diffuser down, it's going to be a 1v3 retake. Lot of angles to check here. Difficult crossfire to navigate. The flash goes out, but he decides he needs to take this fight. The re-peek, the player on the window is so difficult. Cyber not able to spray that down, but it's fine because Astro's there. Close in Cocktail. And that's Faze to lock down yet another round on the attack.
Really well played from Faze. That was a pretty unique attack and not one that you see every day. And it was very Faze-esque. I'm not really sure what other words to describe it as. Faze are not the team that are going to drop Red Hatch, take Cigar, and then clear Pixel.
They're not going to do the normal slow
Faze
stuff,
are not going to do that. Faze are always going to go for something where they can find an in onto the map, where they can probe their way around. All 5 players are looking for the interaction. That is the Faze MO, right? Whenever there's a crime scene that's happened somewhere on the map, there's usually only 1 or maybe at the most 2 Faze players there. These guys are playmakers and they like to hold onto their own ground, but they do it with great timing. What we saw there was 5 players all with their own separate entry point, but they all did it in a 3-2-1 go, and that really threw off the Wolves in their pixel-centric setup.
There's a reattempt for Wolves onto Bar here, and they'll be much more cautious of that waltz in, I expect. Honestly, even to some degree, you want a bit of barbed wire or Malusi on Bar, so they can't just walk up from Cigar Shop and from under New Hatch and take this map control away.
I'd actually have to agree with you on that. I feel like Wolves at the moment are really leaning into this active intel. You've got the Mirror on board, for example. You've got Warden. You don't even have barbed wire on the Jaeger, for example. You've got a bulletproof camera. That's also active intel because you need to be on it. I just feel like a little bit of passive intel into the way that Faze are playing would be beneficial for them because it's just so hard to get a read on what the attack is doing.
I like this. We got the Twitch. Oh my god. Twitch drone actually got shot. Unfortunate by cameraman. I was going to say that's really nice. He managed to get a Twitch drone into Cocktail really easily, but not to be, unfortunately. He's got his one downstairs. You can take out that inside default camera really easily. Looks like he is going to go throw it back up into the window so he can check for util on side, perhaps take down one of those mirror windows.
So Faze are actually changing their approach going into this attacker lineup. We've got Monty on the board, and I imagine Astro is going to be actually dropping that Red Hatch and making space for his team. Now, of course, the utility game is going to be the next step for that attack, if that is what they are going for. It seems like Cyber still using some of those Twitch drones to try and aid the push from where he can, jumping it through, of course, inside of inside of Freezer, but that does get muted out now. This attack is being stalled out pretty hard by these mute jammers. There's a couple of them segmenting off this long bar side of the map. The only real intel they have for the entry is Astro on that Monty right now.
Oh, but as you say that, it's a quick couple kills, leaving Wolves at the deficit here. Faze have once again found themselves in a very strong position on this attacking side, Mandy. Wolves struggling to retake, to recompose, as that Monty stares down Rise on this mirror window.
This is going to be a tough one for Wolves. They're starting to really be surrounded by the Faze players here. You've got Cyber, who's putting a lot of pressure here on this single new window, already sending in his smokes, just trying to aid the push that Faze are going to be by the Monty. Oh, Rise is able to get a big swing onto Cyber, but not before the fuse is going down.
Hasn't gone down yet, though, and that means Bullet is now having to 1v2. With Rise down on the ground, not likely to be able to be revived here. They're not going to take the risk. Bullet doesn't have any nades left to his name. Can see that diffuser on the ground.
P4 just sitting inside of Cigar as well, inside the box. Bullet is able to isolate this 1 versus 1 in the box, but he has to connect the shots and he can't. It's actually Bibu all the way from the rotate hole on the other side to find that kill.
Yeah, wow, well, it's funny. There were really only 2 points of action that round, weren't they? There was the initial just kerfuffle, where FaZe found a one-man advantage, and then there was the second one, where Wolves came out on top significantly. FaZe unable to get that diffuser safely into bar. They fell short. And Wolves have found their first round.
That was a nice setup from Wolves. I really like the 2 meat jammers that were inside the long bar and by the rotate. What that meant was even though FaZe were trying to send in drones to look at what their cocktail mirror setup looked like, they just couldn't get a read on what the defense was like. They sort of went for broke with that Monty push that came through from Cigar. And I want to point out as well, Rise taking that fight onto the single window really opens up the defense. It means that you no longer have to worry about the pressure of someone swinging in and killing your entire backline. It also means that you can start to move your way through the long bar because or that single rotate because you're not being cut off from that window anymore. I think that was a really instrumental gunfight to take and was really instrumental in